Welcome to the Dan Sports Tips MLB preview show for today, the 13th of June. Milwaukee robbed with those 2 runs in the 8th for the Mets yesterday, but that saved the day really, getting that and the -1.5 in. We sit in the region of 190-ish points up on the season. If anyone saw on Twitter yesterday, obviously we played the Royals as well. I'm assuming you did all see that. And if you saw this morning, I said there was 2 plays. Turns out we're getting involved in 3 games, in fact. But hey ho, there's not that many games today, so I'm going to get straight into it with Cleveland and the Kansas City Royals. Edinson Volquez will pitch tonight for the reigning champs, the Kansas City Royals. In 9 career starts against the Cleveland Indians, he is 2-6 with a massive 8.12 ERA in those games. With a worrying 13 home runs allowed across the 9 starts as well. Hitting conditions do look pretty good in Kansas City tonight, in a yard that does usually help pitchers. I think Cleveland are the better side here. They top the division at the moment. Will be looking to increase their lead. They've been playing well, winning 7 of their last 10 games. The Royals will face Carlos Carrasco, one of the better pitchers for the Tribe. He hasn't quite found his groove since being reactivated from the disabled list, but the Royals haven't been playing well. I mean, maybe the couple of games that they've won almost habitually against the White Sox may ignite them again. They had lost 8 straight prior to the wins against Chicago. But I'm happy that the right side of the matchup is to be with Cleveland, both pitcher-wise and, you've got 2 lineups. You never quite know what they're going to do. As I say, I just think Cleveland are better, even though the Royals are usually competitive at home, going 19-7 so far this year at Kaufman. So we will play Cleveland on the run line, and we'll buy to 3.5 and 5.5 as well. We are also going to take a spread bet on this game. We are going to sell Edinson Volquez pitcher performance at 57 for 1/4 point. Volquez has faced Cleveland twice this year. Both the starts were in Cleveland. Obviously, as I say, the number today to sell is 57. The make-up on the games against Cleveland that he's had so far would have been 22 and -3. Conditions, as I say, look solid in Cleveland today. It's warm, there are light winds blowing out, and it isn't ridiculously humid. If Cleveland can clear the fences a couple of times, this should make a tidy profit. They are slightly above average in the American League for strikeouts, the Indians, which you'll see the relevance of that when I tell you how the points are scored in a minute. But Volquez is a below average strikeout pitcher. The way points are allocated for this line is 25 points if the pitcher is credited with the win, 10 points per inning completed, 5 points for a strikeout, -3 for a hit, -3 for a walk, and -15 for a home run. As I say, the line is 57. I think it's going to go under that. It could go under it by quite some way. Obviously, it's putting a bit of trust in the Cleveland bats, and you know what's happened with us with that this year. But Volquez has struggled against them. He's not been good lately, and I like the Indians tonight, and I think they could chase Volquez quite early. Certainly, one of the starts he didn't make it into the 5th inning, out of the 5th inning. So anyway, moving on to the next game, the Milwaukee Brewers are travelling west. They're going to San Francisco. They're playing good ball at the moment. Now, trip out west is never easy, particularly without an off day. But the Giants are a good team. Matt Cain will start for them for his first time off the disabled list. Now, Cain took some time to get going at the start of this season before he started to find his groove. Then he promptly got hurt. I sense he is becoming something of a slow starter in his older age, so I think we want to try and jump on him early as he gets his feeling back, as it's going to take him a couple of starts to settle in again. Milwaukee, as we know, can hit. LaCroix and Braun both lead the charge. They can hit right-handers. There's a strong wind blowing out in AT&T, which is obviously another hitter's park today. They can both hit righties sort of platoon proof, no problem. Chase Anderson will pitch for the Brewers. He has been really good the last 5 starts with a 2.03 ERA, and in fact the last twice he's thrown no hitters through 6 innings in each of those. I'm not totally sold on the Giants' bats, so I feel that if Anderson can come out and at least be solid again, there is every chance the Brewers can score enough to take one on the road here. Anderson will then hand it over to the Brewers relievers, who kind of shafted us for a little bit last night, and they don't seem to be particularly good. but I'm willing to take Milwaukee to win the game, and I'm going to take -1.5 and -3.5 as well. And then we're going to go to Chicago. The White Sox are hosting the Detroit Tigers today. James Shields is on the hill for his second start in a White Sox uniform since the trade from San Diego. Now, Shields became known as Big Game James for how well he's performed in big games down the years when he was with the Tampa Bay Rays and when he was with the Royals a couple of years ago on their first run to the World Series. He's becoming something more like Big Inning James in the last couple of years. He tied for the most home runs allowed by a pitcher last season, somehow in gigantic Petco Park. Now he's come to the White Sox and pitches in a hitter's ballpark at the Cell. Judging by his debut, he's going to make another run this year at leading MLB in home runs. Now he's in a hitter's park. He allowed 7 earned runs in just 2 innings to the Nationals on debut. Detroit are another lineup with plenty of power. Left-handed batters have crushed Shields this year. However, the Tigers are very, very right-handed in their lineup. That being said, they do have 3 hitters in particular who do excel against right-handed pitching. So we're going to take each of those hitters to hit a home run and Detroit to win this game. So we will take Miguel Cabrera to hit a home run and Detroit to win at 13-2, Victor Martinez to hit a home run and Detroit to win at 17-2, and Nick Castellanos to hit a home run and Detroit to win the game at 11-1. Those are the games we're playing today. We're pretty heavy in on Cleveland. That's going to decide what happens today, really. Best of luck if you're joining me. All hail the Indians. Play ball.